What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Breaking News. Massive jump in live venue payouts and 10 times the number of Eidl loan reviews. It is Tuesday, July the 27th, 2021. Please do me each favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Hashtag Eidl with your comments below. And don't forget, make sure you follow me over on Twitter at TrySmallBiz, where Miss Isabel Guzman and I are going at it. She's grandstanding today, and frankly, I want to give her a little bit of pat on the back because she deserves it. Because in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys how there was a 200x increase in the amount of live venues that got money in the last 6 weeks. And in the webinars last night and again today, the SBA said by the middle of August, every single one of you and perhaps over 1 million more around this country are going to have their 24 months of working capital application reviewed. So pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey on a big rock. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make. I don't feel so good today. As you know, if you watched yesterday's video, I recently had a physical. And the great news is my blood work, everything from my liver to my kidneys to my prostate, cancer markers, HIV test, all that was negative and or tremendous. The only thing that was a little off was my LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. It was a tad too high, so I got to cut out the McDonald's altogether. Yeah, it's a vice. It's a vice. I go through and I get the cheeseburger combo with a Big Mac and fries with an orange Fanta, and I shouldn't do that. Every time I'm sitting there, I'm going, why are you doing this? You've lost 15 pounds, right? You saw the Barlean's Greens, the chocolate silk I shared with you yesterday. I feel great. But every once in a while, I can't stop going to that damn place, so I have to. But yesterday when I found out the great news, I also got a shot. And I'll let you figure out what that shot was for, because I believe vaccinations of any kind are deeply personal. It's between you and your family. So we'll let all the fanatics browbeat those that are not vaccinated into submission. My job is to get you up to $15,000, regardless of size, location, or credit score, $2 million caps, 24 months of working capital, and yes, Big Ben fucking Cardin and I are going to get that Eidl loan wiped out so you never pay the SBA a friggin' dime, probably right before the election in 2022. So if I wince or I look a little off, please cut me some slack. Thank you very much. All right, with all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I almost couldn't believe this. And we got to give the SBA a pat on the back today. We got to let Miss Guzman grandstand a little bit, and please make sure you like, retweet, and comment on how I'm going back and forth with her right now, reminding her, hey, you may have won a battle, but this war ain't over. We've made major progress, ladies and gentlemen. In the last 2 weeks, we have taken back major territory in the small business war against the SBA. We are actually winning at this point because they just went, are you listening to me? They went from 51 live venues after 4 months of funding, and in the last 6 weeks, over 10,000. For $7.5 billion. And by the way, they still have billions more. So if you know anyone in the live venue business, make sure you go to the SBA.gov and get yourself some money, because they've got a new sheriff in town. They took away all of the Eidl programs and the live venue grant, SVOG, and gave it to somebody else. And obviously, if it took you 4 fucking months to get through 51 live venues, and then a scathing letter from 63 senators, you remember that, scathing letter saying, hurry the fuck up, we can't wait any longer. All of a sudden, in the last 6 weeks, they go from 51 to over 10,000. Now, based on the information I saw today, there's still a couple of thousand more, at least, that they have to get through. But it's a staggering. It's 200 times more, going from 51 to over 10,000. I mean, Isabel, I appreciate it. I know some live venue dudes down here in Atlanta that are, most of them are in the rap nightclub business. And some of them have gotten well over $1 million, in some cases $2 million recently. So I am very, very appreciative of all the hardworking folks at the SBA that were involved in the live venue grant. All right. With respect to the Eidl increase, they also said, and I'll try to pin a webinar from yesterday and another one from today. There was very informative. It was on Facebook Live. You may have seen Ryder over at Skip allude to it about an hour or so ago. Let me tell you what I'm hearing between the lines. There is some form of automation, artificial intelligence that is automatically declining hundreds of thousands of people. If your corporation is Bill Smith, Inc., and you put Bill Smith Incorporated or Bill Smith Corporation or Bill Smith LLC, something is off by a comma or a letter or two, automatically declined. Not by a human being. The reason they were able to decline 600,000 or 700,000 like that is they're using some form of a machine that is scanning to see whatever information they have on you, in many cases your 4506T, does it match up exactly with what you put on your application? If not, the machine says declined. So they went out of their way to say, settle down, as I and others have been trying to tell you now for the last several weeks and even months. It's not over. Don't forget, I went through 3 reconsiderations. I got hit with unverifiable information. I overestimated my 2019 gross revenue on my app. And when they were looking at my 4506T, I was slightly outside of the 25% variance. Let's say you have revenue gross of 100,000, but your 4506T says 72,000. Well, that's 28% off of what I put on there. Automatic decline. The machine probably automatically declines you when they look at the numbers on whatever system that they're using. So they're making it really clear, and it almost sounds to me, and I think Ryder mentioned this as well, they're pushing people to reconsideration. I don't know if it's because they've got more experienced loan officers there, probably so. They're heavily involved with the legal department. You would anticipate that if you're in reconsideration and you're dealing with people's livelihoods, their taxes, etc., it's a lot more complicated than just accepting an application or reading an income ledger with respect to the targeted Eidl advance. So don't panic. Most of the time, it's a machine that's declining you. Relax. You can reach out to me in the comments. You can send me an email. I will continue to do whatever I can to help you. But we also learned, and this is, frankly, it's unbelievable. If they come anywhere close to this, and I'm going to explain why it's very, very good for everybody watching, they said by the middle of August, in the next 3 weeks, they're going to have reviewed every single application. Every single one. Now, as many of you have pointed out, and I'm about to do again on Twitter, reviewed does not mean approved and funded. But in order to get approved and funded, you got to get reviewed, right? They were doing 2,000 to, in my opinion, 2,500 reviews a day. They committed today and yesterday as well to 20,000 a day. So if you watched my video yesterday, one of the rumors was a JP Morgan Chase or somebody really big was coming into the equation. Because as Ryder rightly pointed out, in order for them to get through upwards of 500,000 new applications in 3 weeks, which is again, 10 times as many as they're doing right now, they must be leaning on somebody really, really big. Otherwise, they would have had to go out and hire between 500 and 1,000 new loan officers, and they're probably not able to do that. So are they going to come out and publicly say, now that they took it away from the Office of Disaster Assistance and gave it to the folks at the SBA that handle PPP, which again, that division deals with the banks like a Bank of America or a JP Morgan or somebody of that size and nature. So, Miss Isabel Guzman, as I said today on Twitter, well done. Thank you very much for dramatically 200 times on the live venue grant in the last 6 weeks relative to the prior 4 months. I also deeply appreciate 10,000 reviews a day. 20,000 reviews a day, which is 10 times the amount, at least, that they're doing right now. However, we still have millions of people, based on my estimation, between 5 and 7 million that are in a middle income community that are counting on up to $15,000 of targeted and supplemental Eidl advance. You need to get rid of a racist, discriminatory, low-income purple zone policy map so people can get up to $15,000 that they were promised in the CARES and now the American Rescue Plan Act. And by the way, getting people reviewed and in many cases declined does not equal approved and funded. So if you're not getting rid of, in an announcement real soon, $2 million loan caps and the 4506T, yes, it's a massive improvement for what we had yesterday, but we can't get everyone funded. Probably 50,000 on my channel and upwards of at least 2 million or more around this country. We can't get them funded in the next 30 to 60 days unless both of those measures, the caps are 2 million and the 4506T is out the door and it's treated just like a 7A or a 504 loan. So ladies and gentlemen, I deeply appreciate you bearing with me today on a day that I don't feel so good, but I'm sure I'll get through it. Always remember, we're going to maintain the fight. We're winning the battle. But we can't go to sleep. Please give it a thumbs up. Do my retweets on Twitter. And always remember, I love each and every single one of you guys and gals. And thank you so much for watching.